All right, a canvas was painted. The canvas is 10 by 14, so I drew that in black. In blue is the portion that I drew to represent where the painter accommodated the margin. So it said that he had a 1-inch margin all the way around. So that, before I do that, 10 by 14 is the whole canvas. 1-inch margin all the way around. That's just saying on each side that distance is an inch. So then they ask what part of the canvas was painted, and the answers are given in percentages. So let's just figure out the blue dimensions quickly. This long side, 14, and then if we take out an inch over here and an inch over here, that's 12 inches. And then what I've represented as being the vertical side, 10 minus an inch gives us 8 inches. So if we want to find the area of each portion, so the painted area is 12 by 8, which is equal to 96 square inches. I'm just not writing the units for clarity and because my final answer isn't a percentage, but inches times inches gives us square inches. All right, now we have 10 by 14 for the entire canvas area. 10 by 14, which gives us 140 square inches. So we want to know what percentage is 96 out of 140. We can represent that by 96. So 96 out of 140. I've now represented it as a fraction, and we would want to find this as a percentage. The way that we do that is we figure out what 96 over 140 is as a decimal, and then just multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. Those aren't super friendly numbers, but let's have a look at our answers really quick in a little side thought bubble. 50% of 140, or half of 140, that would be 70 out of 140. 70 times 2 is 140. So that would be half. We're not too far above that. 100% would be 140 out of 140. 40 out of 140. And the reason I show you that is to try to help us eliminate some answers. So if I look over here, I have some pretty high answers, 96% and 91%. If those were the answers, I would expect my numerator there to be closer to 140, like 130 out of 140 or 135 out of 140. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel out those high percentages, because 96 out of 140 is a little bit closer to this 70 out of 140, a little closer to 50%, which tells me that we're probably in the 65 or 69%. So now let's just do 96 divided by 140. Fraction and division is exactly the same thing. 96 over 140 is like 96 divided by 140. And by eliminating some answers, we can use that to help figure out the problem. So 96 divided by 140. 140 can't go into 96, so we need to add a decimal and a 0. So now, based on the answers that we eliminated, we can assume that 140 goes into 960. Bring up the decimal 6 times. Okay, 140 times 6 is 840. So this goes down here. You could write that out and do it the long way. I just did 6 times 100 is 600, and 6 times 40 is 240. So a total of 840. We have 1, kind of did that backwards, so 0, 2, so 120. 140 doesn't go into 120, so we add a 0, and 140 goes into 1200. Actually, you could check 5 or 9, and it's actually closer to 9. It's 8 and some decimals. So then we know that this is the correct answer. So I'm going fast because my video is going to expire, but use these answer choices to help guide you in the long division.